everyone, Egman here with another video. Today we're going to look at the Great Priest Leader and the kind of like multicolored god archetype it has with it. This is coming out in the new set 16. I've been playing this list a lot in the last week, and just kind of a lot of these lists, and mostly because this is kind of like a really difficult kind of deck building challenge in a lot of ways. And this is my best bet right now. I don't think it's super great, but there are some lines with it. But I think it's more specifically kind of following the one or two cards being super good and then just kind of backing up from there. So none of this is even like leader specific for it, but let's look into it. So first, the leader, if you don't know, it's permanent. You can't include non-god battle cards in your deck or negate the energy exhaust of all god cards in all areas. So this is kind of nice for what it is. Being able to charge any of this stuff is fantastic. And then that's like the main reason you want to try to run this leader. It has a really good permanent, but the rest is kind of lackluster to kind of balance it out. So active main switches card to rest mode to draw one. So you get draw one on turn one if you're going first, which is nice. And that's about it for this active main. There's nothing too good about it otherwise. And then there are ways to untap them from there, but you really kind of run out of draw power for this, especially since you'll see on the backside, a lot of your draw is dependent on you comboing with it as well. So you kind of have to waste the card anyways. But Awaken, when there are 4 or more colors in energy, switch this card in up to 2 of your energy to active mode. So you do get to switch to active mode, which is nice. And then add cards to your life until you have 6 life left, then flip this card over. And then on the backside, same with the negating the energy exhaust of god cards in all areas. And then active battle once per turn, switch this card to rest mode, draw 1, then choose up to 1 multicolored god card in your hand and combo with it, which means you get a combo with it without using the energy cost, which is great, especially since a lot of these are 2 energy cards, and kind of go from there. So that's kind of the idea. You're able to combo with one of these guys for free every turn. Additionally, you're able to charge them all for free, and that's kind of the archetype. You're restricted to only god cards, so there are some kind of heavy restrictions on the cards you can use there. But this is the list we have. Real quick, you also notice that I'm not running the Unison for this list. And I've tried out the Unison a lot, and I just simply don't like it in this deck. There's not a lot of cards that kind of get a lot of benefit from its +1. And I just had a hard time finding like times to use it correctly. And it just didn't feel good for what it is. The thing about this list in general and all these free combos is that they're nice. But most of the time when you do it, you're horribly over comboing with them, or you just don't have, it just feels very bad for kind of what you're doing for it. And it's hard to find the right timing for a lot of these effects. All these effects are really nice, but they're kind of specific for what you need to do for them. So I don't like that card. And part of the reason is, you can't run God-Stealing Trunks in this deck. If you could run that card, you would definitely run it. It's just to be able to have access to God-Stealing Trunks, but you don't, so you shouldn't. That's my opinion. If you get it to work, let me know. But I just couldn't find any value from it. Anyways, so kind of the how this deck kind of started to be and getting formed was I was streaming it, and Brian is like, I was not having a lot of cards in hand. That's the biggest weakness, that you don't have a lot of card draw. And so Aandroidd was watching me. He's like, you should play this Goku Black, Unforeseen Darkness. It is probably one of the best draw cards the deck has. Draw 2, discard 1 on this, and then the end of turn, if there's a card that is both blue and yellow in your energy, draw 2, choose 1 card in your hand, place your draw here, then choose up to 1 of your blue or yellow energy, switch to active mode. So that's fantastic for what it does, being able to get the draw 2 untap, and draw 2, discard 1, which is fine. You get there's a lot of dead cards in this deck sometimes, so I think that helps you out a lot. And can kind of help you for what you're doing. So I like that for the idea of it, and it helps. And then from there, we just have all these kind of cards. So the route we're going through is kind of just focusing on blue-yellow to focus on Goku Black. And the other good card that is Espira's Combative Impulse. So Energy Exhaust, Double Strike. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode. And auto, once per turn, when this card attacks and KOs an opponent's battle card, draw 1, switch this card to active mode, and place 1 card from your opponent's life to the bottom of the deck. This is a dumb skill, especially on something that's like, if you just had like the first half of this card, I think it would be moderately playable, just being able to have a 2-drop with Double Strike. That's 16k, which I don't think there's a 15k 2-drop Double Strike that exists right now. If I'm wrong, find it for me. But that's already good. It's blue-yellow, it's a god, and then also being able to switch something to rest mode is good. If this was like, if we switch something with barrier to rest mode, that'd be broken, but it doesn't, so that's fine. And then once per turn with this, so like this is such a good turn to play in the sense that if your opponent just plays, like let's say like the Universe 7, they play the 1-drop Gohan to help you cycle through your things, get some, most decks play something 1-drop to try to, kind of get their surge started and get some card advantage early. So you just play this, you swing into it, and they either have to like discard like 3 cards or they just lose with it. So like they lose a life, you get a draw card, you untap this. This is also fantastic for hitting into unisons. Being a 16k double strike, so with this and a leader swing, you'd be able to get rid of any of your opponent's unison, which is nice. This is I just can't, and it's a rare. I don't know why this isn't a super. This card seems overpowered for what it does. So to kind of buff that up as well, so we have Whis Rejuvenating Support also from this set. So auto, when this card's played, look top 2 cards from your deck, add a god card among them to your hand, then replace the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is good for what you're doing, and then like this deck, since you're not going to have energy exhaust, you need to have a turn 1 play. So it's between this and the Guasu. Guasu did pretty much just the same thing, but worse, because this also has a limit for one blue and 1 white. Or sorry, colorless. Place this card in your owner's draw pair, choose up to 1 blue bear's card at any cost of 2 in your hand, play it, then switch it to 1 Great Priest or blue Whis card in your leader area to active mode. So the combo that you want to start your game with is that turn 1 you charge a blue-yellow, and then turn 2 you charge a red-green, which is why we run a bunch of these guys. Then use your leader ability, draw 1, and then use the after playing Whis turn 1, turn 2, use its effect to untap your leader and play the Beerus for free, because you're going to have a red-green and a blue-yellow energy, so you wouldn't be able to play this otherwise. So being able to use the Whis effect is nice. And then you're able to awaken. You swing at the Beerus over something. You usually use your Great Priest free. You use its active battle to put in rest mode. Combo with one of these guys for free, which means you have a either 21k, 26k double strike, either heading into leader or like a little 1-drop, and if it is a little 1-drop, you get the effects. Also, most of the cards in here are the ones that gain effects for what they do. So for example, this gets a card drop, this lets you this gets a card drop, this lets you untap an energy if you need to. This doesn't do anything, but also Conic is probably the best one you want, because then you got a 26k, and then you can use that 1 red energy you have open to play this for free. Then you have Offering, and you've got an okay start, but all of this is very specific. I'd say that's the only thing. Like there's a lot of it's very tight to get all of this to kind of work, and that's my big thing with this list in general. I feel like it's kind of tough to get consistency with it, but when it goes off, it goes off, kind of thing. From there, you're just kind of using your energy for what you want. We're running. This is a good turn 4 play if we need to. Playing more Beeruses on turn 3, turn 4 isn't bad. We have some Samosity Eliminator just because it is a god and it's blue-yellow. We also play Beerus Fickle God just for more blue-yellow. And if, like, worst case, we have something to play off of Whis Rejuvenating Support to get the leader untapped. So that's fine for what it is. There's not any better Beeruses, I don't think. Even like the mono blue ones, I don't think they work for this list. This one, I wish this is just a straight up Offering, and I wish we had energy to play more of it, or room in our deck to play more of it, but we really don't. Whis Angel of Universe 7 this is just a utility card. You kind of need to run it for what it is. Being able to be a blocker negate for the archetype essentially, or an untap if you need to, I think is too good. And I do like the Chop and Beer. So we're running 7 of red green just because we need to get that for a second energy if we need to awaken. You don't have to awaken on turn 2. You can wait till turn 3 depending on what you're playing against. But it does stink that this doesn't have a if your leader's at 4 or less life. I think it kind of needs it if you want to be more creative with what you're doing. But being able to use this, and obviously you can combo with like a red yellow card and play it with your you can use a super combo from there to get your red green. But being able to play this card for 1 is fantastic because we don't have a lot of 1 energy plays. Being able to pop something for 20k or less, and then also being able to get double strike on one of your cards. We don't have a lot of double strike either, so being able to get that helps you out. We do have like a lot of like card advantage and like passive damage, but we don't have anything that actually just gives double strike. So I do think that's kind of helpful for what we got. And we got 2 Erase the Universe. I might just take this out immediately. I think it's cute, but it just doesn't work for the deck, especially since we're just so dependent on our hand size and everything going out for there. I mean, getting a 6K combo for free is nice, but I don't think it's helping us as much as it should be. And if we want to be down to kind of like a really tight 50, Erase the Universe is probably the best for it. And then the Vermilion Sands, I think, is still the best secret rare for it. You can also run like the Supreme Kai of Time if you want to, but I think this one's just better. Being able to get like some destruction off your opponent's cards. We don't have any... Yeah, we don't really have any ways to hard remove anything on the board, which really stinks. And there probably are some God cards to help that out, but currently that's probably one of the weaker part of this deck. You just play a lot of like nice, like, cost-efficient 2-drops, but that's about it. There's nothing super crazy after that. So I think if there's something, like if there's more like generic like card destruction on the board that exists, we can totally run it, but there isn't, so we're not right now. And Helios, I think, is one of the best, if not the best, super combos for us. If you want to do like a 2-2 split between this and maybe like a red one to help us get our red-green, because this is our only arrival, that could be good, just because we do have, I don't know, if you can combo with a, I don't know, we probably have enough red and green cards for this. It's tough to say with this, but it does nice to have like a discard 1, draw 2 super combo. We have a bunch of these chunky 10Ks in our hands and stuff. But I think that is all I want to talk about this deck. This is the variant that I've had the most success with, and it's really just off the back of this Beerus putting in a lot of work. So the rest is just kind of fluff in my mind and just kind of your own personal preference. But that is it. So I want you to, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Let me know what your own list and your own opinions with this list are. I think it is a fun list to build and play, but I'm not sure if it's quite competitive yet, but we'll kind of see that in the next couple weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.